Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Dead or Alive 5. I'm Mysterious JG. Looks like the last video recorded okay, so let's continue our Dead or Alive 5 adventure with the mysterious rig and an unknown, and therefore mysterious woman. Although I'm pretty damn sure that the unknown woman is in fact a character from previous Dead or Alive games who is an evil assassin who works for whoever the villain happens to be. But this is not her story. I don't even know if she gets the story. This is the story of Rig, boss of an offshore platform owned by Doatech. Not only is he respected by all the other roughnecks on the platform, Rig has mastered his own style of taekwondo. Well, of course he has. As he's a guy who works on an oil rig, so, you know, yes, I guess it's not an oil rig. It is an offshore platform. One day in the middle of work, a mysterious lady pays the offshore platform a visit. That is literally the most interesting thing that's happened in his life. Rig. The Scotty Riggs story. Doatech offshore platform. Did that actually have the word rig written on it? Is that his personal wrench? Yes, thank you, game. She's sexy, we know. Apparently helicopters are coming and going so often from this offshore platform that no one takes any notice of it.
I'm wearing a suit which somehow reveals my midriff. If you could please pay attention to me.
Hey you,
Hey,
put that on. Rules are rules. So I take it you're the one in charge here?
I'm vaguely British.
Sorry, pretty lady. I got no idea who you are. It's dangerous. Better stand back.
Oh, I'm sorry about your premature gray hair.
You haven't changed. Not one bit.
She knows who he
I
is.
said it's dangerous. Get lost, will ya?
I think that's supposed to be significant.
I'm going.
I'm going to look at you sexy like. Oh, and let's fight, by the way.
Hand smells weird today. Huh. Anyway.
Yo.
Wow, Rig looks hot. Oh, it's not Rig. We're not putting as much effort into the faces of non-fighting characters, are they? Yes, thank you, game,
You've
for
grown.
dwelling
You're
on her
quite the
boobies
real
there.
man.
That's what the other oil
You're
rig
making it
workers
sound like
tell
we
me.
met before. Or something.
I love your hood. Makes you look like Randy Orton. Would if he was wearing a hood. I mean, I've got a knife, by the
Am
way.
I? Sorry. So what's your name then?
Who's your daddy?
Everyone
Is he
calls
rich?
me Rig. But I don't know what my real name is.
I suspect it's offshore.
What's the story there?
My last name is definitely
I was
Platform.
brought up here. Never knew who my parents were. Never left this place.
Really?
What's with the questions? What do you want with me?
I'd explore your mysterious backstory. Using my vagina.
I came here tonight to give you a little test. I wanted to see how strong you are.
So, can you bench press me?
No. Enough with the foreplay.
Let's fuck right here.
Alright, so we get to Rig, the mysterious guy who beats up women. Hey, there's J-Less beer. The official beer of the Klingon Empire. Give a dog a bone. That is an old in-joke that I think made sense in context, but I'm not 100% on that. What a pain it is beating up women in my bar. Well, it's not my bar. Wait, no, I'm boss of this platform, so yeah. Anyway, I just beat up a woman. Merry Christmas. Taylor's bar a few days later. Another beautiful woman appears to be beaten to shit by Rig, who has not changed his clothes.
So yummy. Hey,
It
listen,
really is.
check this out.
Why are all the characters from the game here? This is an offshore platform in the middle of nowhere.
Come on, what the hell? There's no need to show off your strength, am I right?
You're right, Snow.
Hey,
Punch your own hand.
break it up.
Oh, the sexual
Now
tension is
you look like
palpable.
a real fighter. Care to take a shot?
But I normally only fight women. Alright, so fake Bruce Lee is back. Damn it, I was doing stuff. Okay, so fair enough. I'm sitting there doing the I will counter you pose constantly and you kill me, which is, in fact, the way you're supposed to deal with people who are trying to counter all the time. Alright, so if I don't combo into death here, I'm pretty much closed.
What a pain. On to the next fight.
Baby.
On to the next change of clothes. Or the first change of clothes.
Good luck.
Well, what a pain.
Oh, they're not even gonna bother to have like linking story this time. Fair enough. Yeah, successful counter, bitches. And again. So I think it would be possible, but yeah, shove him to his death here. Or counter.
What a pain.
What a pain it is to throw my hands around all weird.
Spoil all my fun.
Don't spoil my clothes. I only own the one pair of clothes. Don't get blood on my hoodie. Hey, it's a guy with a bike. It's suspiciously named G. I already beat him up when I was story mode. Before it even started. He's turning Mother Base. He's heading for Quiet's cage. Oh, he's having a nightmare.
Hey, get out of here.
Big Boss was coming back for the inspection, and suddenly this off-unit attacked. And if we're not careful, we're gonna get sucked into some weird energy vortex and end up in a survival horror game that Kojima had nothing to do with.
So is the story here that these two are going to save everyone from whatever this mysterious explosion was, and then to celebrate they're going to fight each other? I mean, it's a fighting game. I don't know what I expect. But it's tough to write a story for a fighting game that doesn't just constantly end with everyone fighting each other.
Good job, old man.
Good job, old man. Thanks for not fighting me again. Mustard Light? Was that the name of the beer? Roll it back, folks. I think it's Mustang Light. Maybe.
No idea, man. The main valve completely blew. Good thing
That
you were
lithium
around us.
crystal containment chamber is faulty or something. Hey, check out that lady on the TV. She's like a character from the game. She's announcing a brutal fighting tournament that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense in the context of the story. Okay, well, I completely lost track of whether that is the first or second story mode that I'm doing, so let me see. Okay, this video is not long enough for us to have finished the video yet, so I assume we are meant to go on to fight now as this guy. Good little girl. Oh, is that what he calls Rig? That's embarrassing. Well, presumably this story will be the tale of them fighting each other at this bar after having done stuff. Although, actually, if we look at it here, it looks like you can. The storyline is laid out for us. The order in which you play the chapters is left to right, but the sequence of events is from top to bottom. So, as you can see, the end of Ayane's second story over there, unless she's Kasumi, I can't remember which of those is which, is the actual end of the game. So this woman arriving and the mysteriousness was way back, and then these two events were fairly recent. So I guess somewhere in here, people start showing up at this bar and fighting each other. And now we're going to play the story of this guy, which will carry us into the future before we have flashbacks that involve Drunk Guy. Okay? Got it. Let's go. Bass, or Bass, a legendary pro wrestler. Nice Bass. After fighting in Dead or Alive 4 in order to stop his daughter, he announced his retirement and went to work on a Doatech offshore plant. So he retired from being a legendary pro wrestler and decided to go to work at a offshore plant. Now, I thought typically people retired from being legendary pro wrestlers to do reality TV and to have sex with Bubba the Love Sponge's wife, and then say a bunch of racist stuff and get in trouble, but then win a bunch of money by suing Gawker. This guy didn't take that path. He's clearly supposed to be Hulk Hogan, though. He was going to settle down. I'm not kidding about that. He is clearly supposed to be Hulk Hogan. This is like the muscle power of this game. He was going to settle down, live a quiet life, and let the youngsters take the spotlight, or at least that was the plan. But then he had nightmares about explosions, and was in an actual explosion. I wonder if we'll get to see the whole scene from the beginning. I think we will. Oh, no, never mind. This is after they've had a couple more. There's Star Beep Light. That's what it's called, Star Beep Light.
Former stars have already come forward to enter the upcoming tournament. We'll take a look in depth next.
Yeah, I've been there.
How's it going?
One wrong move and there's gonna be another blast like that one.
Hey, Tom, I hope you gave up on those motorcycle races.
His name isn't Rig, it's Dig.
Now, I know this is sudden, but I've decided to make my
I
big
know you're
goal.
watching TV right now.
I hope you're as fired up about this as I am. Rock and roll! Yeah!
Seemed like more of a country girl, but...
Tina,
do you have a southern
listen
accent?
up,
I don't.
Rick. You and me are gonna do some sparring.
I just have, like, generic tough guy voice. Oh, well, the explosion did end with them celebrating and then fighting. So the balance is restored. I'm blocking here. Surprisingly, one of his big throws is just headbutting a person and not really throwing them at all. Damn it. I guess my excuse is that every time I'm using a new character I haven't used before, I have a little bit of sloppiness. But considering that the best strategy is to just stop trying to do fancy stuff. I'm trying to show off what the characters can do a little bit, but really your best bet is just keep punching and kicking. With the stick arm champion! Hey, buddy. Nobody cares. You exist so that in random arcade mode, the person who is playing as a hot chick can fight you occasionally.
A little tighter. Yep.
He really
Just
is
like that.
heavily involved in this tournament. He is actually putting up the ring after having flown around the world gathering the fighters. That's impressive.
Listen up, Zach. I'm gonna join this tournament of yours.
Okay. No problem.
The hell are you? Well, you can't join my tournament.
You're not a
unless
sexy
you
lady.
beat me first.
That won't be a problem.
Get ready, fight.
Yeah, slightly different outfit here. And yes, he did in fact just do the rock bottom. That happened. I'm hitting the counter button like crazy. I guess that was like special cinematic blow that he'd already landed. That was not a good time to attempt to throw. Should have just ended it with some kicky and punchy. But now we get to see his sexy pose when he loses. Did he mutter something about Tina? Guess not.
Get ready.
And then we got Zach's portraits up there on the monitors, which is actually nice. They usually put the portraits of both fighting characters, but since this is an impromptu fight, it makes sense they wouldn't be ready to do that. Although I'm not sure why Zach's picture's up either. Just kick and punch and stop trying to do stuff. And as soon as I say that, I make myself go for the big clothesline, which is a throw, because I wanted to see it. Oh, come on, that wasn't right. He missed his big stupid uppercut bullshit, and I...
Get ready, fight.
Good thing these fights last like 45 seconds, win or lose, so that I can afford to like lose a bunch and have it be okay. I mean, we're all in it for the story's sake, of course. Big boobs. Big boobs. Got my mafia kick finisher going. Showtime starts after the match is over.
Oh, that felt damn good. I'm gunning for you, Tina.
That's right, I'm wearing underwear on the outside of my tights, and I'm gonna beat up my own daughter in public.
Eddie Guerrero only referenced yelling at his daughter. He never actually threatened to beat them up. You're not doing the pro wrestling thing right, buddy.
Get ready for the Dead or Alive 5 quarterfinals.
I guess we can assume he makes it to the semifinals then. Because,
Behold, the mysterious masked wrestler, the one and only Mr. Strong.
oh, better than Mr. Satan. He's gonna beat up his daughter.
That outfit's so embarrassing. Not like mine. Mine is dignified.
Actually, a kick on the fucking truck. It'd be kind of nice to beat her on the first try at least.
You were just beat up.
Strong.
No one can beat me up, not even my own waifish daughter, which is not waifish, but
You're, pretty tough. If we got together, we'd rule the wrestling world.
what? Team up with my own family members? Be allied with my family? Insane. Madness.
Listen up, everyone. I'm so happy that I could come back here and wrestle in front of all my fans one more time.
Barely clothed.
And that's not all. In fact, I'm gonna be this state's governor.
Well, I mean, under
That's
Trump.
right.
I'm surprised that he hasn't given this fictional pro wrestler a cabinet position.
No way in hell. You can't be governor.
I'm governor. I used my patented spinning pile driver. No, wait, that's the mayor.
What did you say? Huh? Daddy?
Why did the crowd suddenly get hushed and silent? Oh, okay, so it's... I didn't even realize that it's supposed to be zany that they don't know his identity, or that she's his daughter. So that would imply that she became an incredibly famous pro wrestler and entertainment celebrity, and the world never knew that her father was also a super famous pro wrestler. I mean, I suppose in theory, Charlotte Flair could have never referenced Ric Flair at any point in her career, and... well, no, wrestling fans are obsessed with knowing everything about what's going on behind the scenes. There's no way she would have been able to keep Ric Flair's My Dad quiet. Anyway, folks, we've got one more video's worth of fighting as guys before we'll have a girl video, and then we'll go back to fighting as guys and kind of go back and forth. And it'll be fun, and you'll enjoy it. And I hope you're having a merry little Christmas. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. And think about a grown man who is a pro wrestler beating up his daughter, who is also a pro wrestler. I'm Serious JG. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time with more of Dead or Alive 5, the Christmas special that's been spread out over 12 days.